Hey there, self-care warriors. It's Ro, and welcome back to Hold My Purse, your go-to spot for unleashing that inner badass through some serious self-care. Today, we're diving into a captivating journey with a special guest, my Capricorn soul sister, Devon Cunningham. Her transformative path was sparked by adversity and led her to a profound spiritual awakening after a DUI and spending some time in jail. Devon found inner peace and purpose through the magic of sound healing, and she's here to inspire you to find your own healing and purpose. Get ready to explore the incredible realm of sound healing. Let's get this party started. Hey, Devon.
Hey, Rhonda.
How you doing today? It's first day, New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Can you believe it? I can't
I
believe
cannot. This is
we're already in
crazy.
2024. That's like a trip, when you think about how fast these last 4 years have gone since that pandemic. And we are still here striving and trying to just, continue moving positively forward, in our life.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
It is. It is. And I always think at this time of the year, because, obviously I'm not originally from California where we are. I'm from Michigan. I moved here in 2009 and I met you in 2009
Yeah.
when I lived at High Ridge Apartments where you worked. And I always remember you like in that corner in the office and I come in and ask you a million questions. You was always
Tell
so
you something. That was incredible. That was an incredible time of, I think, both of our lives. I think we were
yes.
both newly restarting our lives again.
Transitioning. Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful area to start our lives in,
It was.
restart. I know for me, moving to Palos Verdes at that time and getting away from the city,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just have, so much nature around us, even though I was working all the time up there.
You really were.
I really was. Oh my God. I managed that whole property through a whole freaking renovation, but
Yeah.
inside and out. But it was a change that I needed at that time in my life. And, our kids definitely benefited from being there because they went to the best high school in the whole nation. So
You're not
I'm
kidding.
grateful for that. I'm really grateful. And I was so grateful to meet you, wasn't
Man.
that
Look, we like Capricorn soul sisters. Like our birthday is like 5 days apart or something like that. And then we just started vibing off of that. I was like, I knew her spirit was aligned with
yeah.
mine.
We helped each other in ways there that even if, I know you were working like crazy at the time.
Yes, because I was working for Tavis at the time, and that commute, there was no bus. Like the hurdles were real, like
Yeah.
moving here. But I'm forever grateful for that. I think that's the best decision I ever made leaving Michigan, to be honest.
Well, I think so. I mean, I think because your heart was here and the things that you're
Mhm.
working on now, maybe you may or may not have gotten so deep into the work that you're doing now had you have stayed there. Who knows?
100% would not have. So, look, ain't no telling what I'd be. First of all, I'd be knee deep in snow right now. But
We don't want that. No.
next, no.
I'm
No,
crying when it's cold out here. Are you kidding me?
I
Oh God,
know.
I wouldn't be able to hang in any snow, but
I know. And then, remember that time we went to the lighthouse and like we had the freaking most epic night
Nice.
out partying
Oh
and
my
drinking.
God.
We met those dudes and hung out with them, and we were like, "Yo, this is like
Oh
we
man,
can't recreate that."
that was a really fun night. I mean, I haven't had many. I don't think I've had a fun night quite like that since then.
Really?
Because we came
No,
home when the lights were coming up. I think
I know. We was like, as my dad used to say, "You hanging like wet clothes," but
right.
we
And
had.
let me tell you, we paid for it too the next day.
We did, but then we kind of lost touch with each other for a while because you left the property and you moved to LA area. And if anybody knows anything about Los Angeles, first of all, you got drive time, commute time, and I think our lives just got in the way.
Two different ways. I know I got promoted from there when I left,
Hmm.
and I ended up becoming a property manager for multiple properties. So I wasn't just
Yeah,
managing one anymore. I
yeah.
ended up working in between Ventura County and LA County. So my schedule was really all over the place. My
Yeah.
daughter had left and went to college, and then I became an empty nester at that point. And to fill up that emptiness that people do feel when you are an
Hmm.
empty nester, I think I really dove so far into work that I didn't even have time for myself, which
Yeah.
was, kind of crazy that we do that. And that led me on a whole different journey, of my.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a good segue because what maybe a month and a half ago, I had been seeing your posting on sound bowls, and at first I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't really know what this is," and then out of the blue, I just text you. I
Yeah.
was like, "I need to come to you." You posted you were doing a sound bowl event. I was like, "I need to come to this," and you were like, "Do you have a minute to talk?" And then we got on the phone, and first of all, it was like no time had passed.
Absolutely not when it's true friendship.
Yes, and then you started telling me about your journey to the sound bowls, and I thought it was a fascinating story. And, please share it here today because your
Yeah.
transformation, your story I was so inspired and moved. I was like, I just brought my ticket and I'm going to this next sound bowl. So,
I was so excited when we finally connected that day because I realized, you get so caught up in your life
mhm,
sometimes. You just begin to just do life, and you have to remember,
yeah,
the people that are really special to you. And I know when we connected, our friendship was always very special.
yeah.
And we were just moms trying to raise our kids and trying to work
Listen,
and make things end. And unfortunately, sometimes when you're a single parent, you can't think outside of anything else except what is needed to survive, and that's no way to live.
no,
Just surviving and just working to pay the bills and working to make sure everybody's taken care of. And at some point, you have to just stop. And that's literally what woke me up. After I left you, I realized that I left the place that I was managing in Palos Verdes. I felt like, because I was so stressed out. I was really working 12, 14-hour days, probably more sometimes. And then I noticed that I wasn't really feeling great. I wasn't feeling good. I just felt like I was just in a hamster wheel, just going and going and going. I would pass out when I went to sleep and come to when I woke up and then jump right back into going. And so at some point you don't have any time for even a personal thought.
right.
And at some point of that, I had began to drink more wine than I wanted to,
Mhm,
because when you come home, you're just like, oh, so stressed out. Let me have a glass of wine. Just let me just relax and unwind. And that, if you're not careful, can turn into an extreme unhealthy habit.
yeah,
And back in 2017, I knew I was sick. I didn't know what from at the time. I didn't understand. Anything other than I just had to work. And I just remember my mom and my family kept saying, "Hey, you need to slow down." I'm like, "I can't slow down. I got to work. I got to make this money. I got to pay for this. Got to do that." And the next thing you know, your life has just spiraled out of control. And again, I mentioned my daughter had moved away to go to college in Arizona, and I was literally left with just me at that point and just trying to figure out, who am I without the kids in my life? Who was I now without the marriages in my life? Who am I now in this job? That is this really what I was supposed to be doing on this earth?
mhm,
And I ended up one in October of 2017, I was working up near Santa Barbara, and I was coming back down home. I lived in West LA at the time, and I was coming back home, and a friend of mine had a winery, and she says, "Hey, stop by and just have a drink on your way home." And I had been battling with no drinking. I think I had done pretty well 2016, because I knew I was really trying to get a bigger a handle on why I wasn't feeling well. I was catching a lot of colds and just headaches and all these things. And so I had stopped drinking a lot. But I know that there was something that happened. I can't remember exactly what it was at that particular day. But I said, "Hey, I'm going to go and have a drink." And I knew the next day I had to work in Glendale or somewhere like that. So I said, "I'm not going to stay long. I'm just going to have one drink and go home." Well, 3, 4 drinks later at this place
hello.
and food and all that, I ended up heading home to West LA from Westlake Village, and good Lord, first time ever, first time ever, I got pulled over that evening and got a DUI. And I tell you, it was the most humbling experience of my life. I spent 12 long hours in jail.
Oh God.
And let me tell you something, that was the beginning of my new life.
Mm.
That was
It's
the
always something that makes you
Mhm.
transform, right?
Yeah, that was a crazy night. But I'm going to tell you something. Any other night, any other night, I would have gotten pulled over throughout my whole existence of me drinking, which started when I was in my teens.
Mhm.
They could have thrown me underneath the jail. But this particular night, it was, oh, God said, you know what? I've been telling you, and literally, really, God had been telling me before this night,
Right.
my attention was needed. And I just kept saying, later, God, I'm working. Later, God, I'm busy. Later, God, I've got to do this first, you know? And
Mhm.
it just was time. It was time. That was the night of my awakening. That was the night my spiritual awakening began that led me on this journey to finding these sound bowls. So while I was in jail that night, it was crazy. Imagine this. I had a business suit on with heels.
Oh gosh. You was in jail.
Yeah,
Why?
all this thing. I'm in jail. And the people, I got to tell you something. It was the most incredible experience of my life. Even though I was
Wow.
really scared,
Yeah.
I was very scared. It was 1 o'clock. I got pulled over in Encino,
Oh
California.
gosh. Yes. Phew.
But the officers were angels.
Oh,
I
good.
want to tell you, the officers were the nicest, sweetest, kindest, most gentle. I mean, from everything from when the handcuffs had to come on, they were like, "Oh, just we won't put them on tight, we promise."
Oh
To
God.
me into the
Really?
car, they wouldn't let me get in the back seat. They put me in the front seat. They called me ma'am. They were just sweet. They were like, "I'm so sorry. That happens to the best of us, but we can't let you go because if you hurt yourself,
Yeah.
we never forgive ourselves." And I
Mhm.
was pleading with them, "Please let me go. I'll never drink again." Because I literally was like 10 minutes from the house, you
Oh
know.
damn. That's always like that.
I was 10 minutes. I was like, "Please just escort me home." And they were like, "No, no, gotta go." And so
Okay.
I got in there and I'm telling you, I tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was one of the most spiritual experiences I've ever had. When I was in there, the guards even brought the phone and put it up against my cell and said, "You can use it here. Here's a phone book. You can call these people." They literally were the kindest. They treated me
Wow.
with respect. They treated me just like
Like a human. Like
they treated better than that.
yes.
Honestly, they really did.
Yeah.
They really kept telling me, "Don't worry, it happens to the best." And by the
Mhm.
time I stayed in there 12 hours. Now, while I was in there was a lot of craziness going on. It was screaming and people crying in the cells next.
Mhm.
Anyway, 12 hours later, I remember being, it was freezing and I had nothing but time, which was something I never had. I had nothing but
Good.
time to think. For 12 hours, I was alone. No phone,
No social media,
no
no
social
nothing.
media, no people. I had one young, beautiful angel that was up underneath me in her bed. And I think she
Mhm.
was probably about 18. And
Mm.
she was scared, but I loved her because I was able to actually prophesize with her before I got out because something kicked in inside of me when I was in there. And it changed me. And I kept hearing this voice saying, "It's time. It's time." And I just remember going all the way back. Now, if anyone knows about an ayahuasca journey, I literally had that with no ayahuasca in there because I went all the way back on my timeline till the age of 16 having my first drink because I was like, how did I get here? When you're in that situation, you want to know, how did I get here?
Mhm.
Why did how did drinking land me in here? Because that's what it was. And
Right.
then I began to realize when I hit that part of my timeline of being 16, I literally could see my whole life at 16, and I was like, "Oh, man, I remember why I had that first drink. I remember why I did it." And then I remembered that I drank to heal and to numb myself from the traumas that I had had.
Mhm.
that I
At
was experiencing.
16, wow,
Yeah, at
16
16, I was
drinking.
drinking at 16. There was a lot of trauma that I had from
Mhm.
5 all the way on up, you know? And
Okay.
I never knew how to deal with that, but when I got to be 16, I got into high school, I had friends that were drinking,
Mhm.
tried my first drink, tried my first smoke,
Yep, yep.
marijuana back then. I didn't really like that too much, I didn't like it at all, so I never did
Mhm.
that too much because the very first time, second time I did that, I was like, "Why am I feeling paranoid?" I'm thinking
Yeah, me
kinda
too. The
crazy.
first time I did, I was like, "Never again."
Never again. I didn't like that, but the drinking was what resonated with
Yeah.
me because it gave me liquid courage,
Mhm.
courage to deal with it. Oh, who cares about what happened? I can move
Mhm.
forward, and it just became this part of my life. It
Well,
really did.
let me ask you because I've had, like, similar situations, but when you're in that moment when you have this 12-hour span and that kicks in, how did you feel, like, when you were going through it? Was it kinda like a Rolodex of a review of everything that you've gone
It was
through?
a life review. It
Wow.
was a whole life review, and I actually wrote about that. I have,
Okay.
like, 5 pages that I wrote about that whole experience, which I'm gonna continue writing because eventually
Mhm.
I'll write a book about
Yeah,
everything
you
that's happened.
should.
It's been magnificent, and it's just been it's transformed my entire life. Those officers saved my life.
Mhm.
They
They
don't
al
know it, but they did.
Yeah, they always say your lowest moment
Mhm.
takes you up to your highest moment.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you are there, my friend, because that sound bowls, listen, the first time I went when you invited me to that event, I literally and I had been thinking, I had to share this with you, but I've been thinking about because I had gotten fired from my job and I was like, what am I gonna do? And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
just find a job, find a job." And I needed but I knew that's not what I really wanted to do, like, I
Mhm.
don't wanna be a slave to the system anymore, listen to people complain and bitch
Yeah.
about stuff. I
Yeah.
just didn't wanna do that anymore, and I remember laying there and you were like, "Just let yourself go," and, all the prep, and I felt myself, like, levitating, and when I came out of that whatever that was you put me in, I was like, "You go start that podcast tomorrow."
Oh,
You
yeah.
find your job because you gotta pay the bills, but you need your purpose is
Yes.
bigger than working for somebody else. But if you don't mind, please tell everybody about the sound bowls, like,
Yeah.
oh, because
Well, I'll tell
that's
you
some
how I
healing.
got
That's some healing.
it. The sound bowls, now let me back up. I've always resonated, throughout my whole entire life with music. I
Mhm.
I was brought up around music. My father is a musician, and I've been around music all my life. I'm no stranger to it. And
Yeah.
even when, as growing up as a kid, I came up in the '80s, and I was always somewhere where there was music. I
Mhm.
loved all sorts. I love all kinds. I love classical. I love jazz. I love hip hop. I love R&B. I love all kinds of music, and it's always giving me motivation and inspiration, no matter what. Um, type of music I've been around at the time of my life. It's always given me some sort of something to get me through the next point of whatever it was I was going through. I actually have always been very spiritual as well. I've studied many different religions. I've studied Catholicism, Christianity, Baptist, Buddhism, Jehovah Witness, and all of them, something has resonated with me. But I find
Mhm.
myself throughout all of those years of the differences in the religions that I practice, spirituality is what's more it
Mhm.
with me. And that's, I mean, even science of mind and all these, different practices, I've delved into them because I wanted to understand. I've always resonated with that because deep down inside of me and all of us, we're spiritual beings.
Yes.
There is no one way to just this and that. And I know there's a lot of religions that'll say it's just this way or no way, but that's not true. So to
Mhm.
me, but
Mhm.
I feel like whatever way is going to make you a better person, whatever way is going to help you tap in to your true self, whatever way is going to tap you into the universe a little bit closer, whatever's going to open you up so that you can remember who the heck you are.
Yes, that
We are
part.
not these jobs that we've been put into.
Mhm.
That's most of us feel so empty when you're just going to a job and
Yes.
just punching a clock and you just because that system makes you robotic. That system is what
Mhm.
I call being in the matrix.
Yeah.
That is a system that can definitely it can rob you of your life force.
Yeah, and your true essence of what your purpose is and what you're here to do
Mhm.
in your life because you're just out of alignment.
You're out of alignment.
And
That's
then
what
you're
I
so
was.
unhappy. You're so freaking unhappy in your life. And that
Miserable.
is why. And people don't that's what I'm
Mhm.
really hoping to do with this podcast and some of the other stuff that we've been planning to do is get
Yes.
people in alignment. And I'm
Well,
telling you, them sombos, woohoo.
I
That was my
realized who I
catalyst.
was. That's
That
the
was my
catalyst.
catalyst.
And this is what I do.
Mhm.
So when I got out of jail, I remember I I right before I got released from there, I think this was probably hour number 11 and a half. I had
Mhm.
had enough. I felt like
You said,
you ever see the Christmas story with Scrooge?
yes.
Okay, so in there, I got visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future,
Okay,
right?
okay. Uh-huh.
And that's what an ayahuasca journey is.
Oh, okay.
Basically, that's what that is. And so I knew that my life as I knew it was over. It was over because
Reborn.
God had told me, "Here is your crossroads. You come out of here. You can either go to the right
Mhm.
or you can go to the left. But this was your final warning."
Oh, that's powerful.
And I knew that. So what I did was I was at the top of this bunk and it was freezing. I was not comfortable in there. I was not comfortable. I was the most uncomfortable that I had
Mhm.
ever in my entire existence. I was scared. I was cold. I was uncomfortable. I wasn't so much as confused. I kind of was confused, but I knew that I was very straight on this. I was not going back to that.
I know that's right.
So I told God, I said, if you just let me out of here, I promise you, I will give my life to you. I will do everything that I need to do on this earth for you.
Mm.
If you just give me another one last chance, I will show you that I will turn my life to you. And I gave my life to God. And I promise you, Rhonda, in 10 minutes after I said that, there was some loudspeaker. It was some loudspeaker. I don't know where it was. I
That was
promise you,
God talking to
I
you.
didn't see a speaker in
Uh-huh.
this place. But this voice came over that says Cunningham. And I literally went like, and it says, "You're now being released." That was it.
Oh
I don't know
my
where that voice
God.
came from. I never saw who said it. Do you hear me? I heard it
Wow.
loud and clear
But
that I was being
that's a good metaphor though, like, because you were also released from the old you.
yes. I get out, get home, and I literally drop on my knees as soon as I got into my place.
Mm.
And I literally cried. I didn't come out other than to go to work
Mhm.
and go home. I didn't hang out with people. I didn't go to any bars. I didn't do any drinking. I was so open at that point. And at that time, I had a friend that said, "Hey, I want to take you away for this a spiritual journey this weekend." And I didn't know what it was. I just knew I wanted to.
Mhm.
It had anything to do with God, and it had anything to do with the universe, and it had anything to do with me getting directions on how to live my life at this point. I needed to be there.
Right.
And I had my very first ayahuasca retreat on January of 2018.
Mm.
That that was the most profound experience I've ever had in my life. Because in that particular journey is where I actually was shown heaven on earth.
Wow. Can you share what a ayahuasca journey is for people that don't know?
Yes, ayahuasca is a plant medicine
Mhm.
that is found in indigenous cultures and indigenous practices uh, that people drink liquid plant medicine. Now, plant medicine is grown in jungles,
Mhm.
and there are two vines that they find that they put together, and they're spiritual. It's a spiritual elixir that
Mhm.
I'll call it an elixir that is made, but this elixir is so powerful and so spiritual and so sacred. It's nothing that you just go do for fun. This is not what you do for fun.
Okay.
All of you listening that has never had it done, do not do this out of a ceremonial,
Mhm.
sacred space. You must be with people that know how to handle um, the medicine and how to handle you in that journey so that you're safe and that you're
Mhm.
protected at all times and that you're guided through and that you have what you need in that process. I would not recommend just sitting in somebody's house somewhere with a bunch of friends just doing it just for the heck of it to see what it is. No, that is you treat it as such. It's sacred because it's going to help you in your life. Now, a lot of people purge from both ends
Mhm.
sometimes. um, you have a lot of different visions. You basically, it's all about you. Like you could be in a setting of 20 people doing this, and everybody is. It's all about you. It's all about your life. It's all about your trauma. It's all about the things that you're going to be shown that you need to do with your life. It's getting you to your gifts. It's getting you to your purpose, divine purpose on this earth. That
Mhm.
ayahuasca is, and there's a few other plant medicines as well, but ayahuasca is one of the most. I think that one is that's that's the one that really, for me, really stripped me of who I thought I was and showed me exactly who I was.
Oh, I love that. I heard that it's also like 10 years of therapy.
It is 10 years of therapy. It is 10 years of therapy. I literally saw myself on the
Mhm.
very that first weekend that I was shown Heaven on Earth. I
Mhm.
literally was also shown, like I said, I went from the past to the present to the future, and I was standing there watching myself in the past in a bar, and I just saw myself in
Mm.
this bar, just disrespecting myself, drinking and just drunk and the drunkenness, and that's no way to be. And I felt my heart just opened, and I felt so much compassion for myself.
Mm.
I felt so much, just like, what are you doing, baby girl? What are you doing? Like, you can't do this anymore. You must honor yourself. You must respect yourself,
Right.
you know, and you have things to do. And I literally saw that I was going to be going back to my family home. Now,
Mhm.
then I was like, now, you're lying now. I'm not going back there. But I had to.
Yeah.
I had to go home because that's where it all started.
Okay.
I had to go back to my past. There's
Mhm.
no way I could be out here doing this work that I'm doing
Yeah, you
if
had
I
to
didn't
heal.
go home.
Yeah, you.
And the beautiful thing about that too is sometimes it's been 5 years for me now, and I have done a lot of work. I
Mhm.
have a lot of work with these sound bowls. I have ended up in some of the most magnificent places. I have had some of the most hardest healing. I have had to do literally healing that I never thought I would have agreed to do. I wouldn't have if it was the old me.
Okay.
But I literally had to come back to family members, to
Mhm.
friends. I'm faced with different situations, and sometimes it doesn't go like that.
Right.
Sometimes it's not. You're not going to heal everything, but the thing is, you must face it.
Mhm.
You must face it and you must deal with it so that it can pass through you and not stick to you.
Oh, I love
Sometimes,
that.
sometimes the healing is just acknowledging that, hey, I forgive this. I acknowledge. You have to acknowledge
Right.
situations to be able to heal them. Now, in a perfect world, everyone that you have an issue with or everything would be able to hug you back and say, "Yes, I'm sorry." And I've been blessed to be able to have those experiences. But
Mhm.
some of those experiences, I just have to just say, you know what? I bless it. I thank it for the lesson. I
Yeah.
thank it for the blessing, and I release you in love. And that's
Mhm.
the finality of that.
I love
That's the
that.
healing. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like you could take your traumas and go through what you went through with the journey with ayahuasca and everything
Mhm.
else to get to that other side and then really embrace that new part of you because it's almost like
Yes,
that part of you dies
it
and
did.
you're
It,
reborn and you're
well,
better and
that's it.
stronger. Yes.
I never understood reborn. Now, mind you, I've been baptized a lot throughout my life.
Yeah.
I've gone to many different churches. And I I got the concept of being reborn,
Mhm.
but I never really was reborn until right now.
Yes.
Because I walked 6 years in my sobriety. I had
Mhm.
never had another drink since that jail episode.
Good for you. I love that.
Me too. I'm so like the present
Mhm.
for me is being present.
Yeah,
We
because
are
when you're
we
drunk, you don't remember nothing, right?
You don't
Hey.
remember a thing. You don't
Yeah.
remember anything. But I love it because life can be beautiful. Life is so full of color. I remember one of the biggest things I remember, like in my first year of sobriety, was just how bright everything was
Mm.
and how fresh everything looked. And just I felt such a newness with myself. Just getting it was a difficult transition, I'll say, because I didn't realize how much drinking had become
Yeah.
a part of my life, just from even going to breakfast. Hey, I'm gonna need a mimosa. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Or brunch, or
Mhm.
going to the grocery store and having to go and, oh, I think I'll have a pairing wine with your food, or
Mhm.
that whole thing changed for me, and I really had to relearn who I was. I remember one time saying, I guess I can still be fun without alcohol.
You could totally
Because
be fun without alcohol.
yeah, but when when you're 15 years old and that's all you
Yeah.
know, and you're well into your
And
late
that peer
20s,
pressure, right? Come back. Yeah.
yeah, I had to
Mhm.
stop hanging around a lot of people that were still doing that because I didn't
Mhm.
go to bars, I didn't go to clubs, I didn't do
Yeah.
that anymore. So I began to live a very different life. And then I have friends that don't drink, which was a beautiful thing that I have friends that
Mhm.
don't drink alcohol. And we just have a good old time. I actually really love tea. I'm a teetotaler. Don't take me to
Yeah.
a tea bar. I'm like, hey now, but this is the real high for me.
Mhm.
This
High on
is the
life.
real party.
High on life. You don't need
I'm high on
nothing.
life. And
Yeah.
so after I did that first ayahuasca journey, I did end up doing quite a few more here.
Mhm.
And then I ended up out of the country. And the beautiful thing about that one was that my mom had, I realized I found out I was really ill after I got, sober
Mhm.
and decided to get on this journey. Um, and I decided I was going to move home. Well, I did move home,
Mhm.
and my mom said, "Hey, I really like what you're doing, What are you doing?" And I told her, and she says, "Well, I really want to try that." And so she said, "Hey, let me do it my way." And she wanted to go out of the country, and I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
So
Sure.
we ended up in Ecuador at this amazing facility there called Gaia Sagrada,
Okay.
uh, ran by an amazing shaman. It was Ecuadorian shaman, and Christine Brees is her and her husband own that, and they make their own ayahuasca medicine in San Pedro and all that. But it was just beautiful because that particular journey was different. Being in nature, we were in
Mhm.
the mountains for a couple of weeks, and I'm telling you, we did a few of those, and that place is where I was called to. I was reactivated into sound in
Oh.
my life. And so I was told that I would be on this journey with sound.
Mhm.
And at that point, I knew I loved sound bowls because I had been at them before,
Mhm. Mhm.
before I even got the DUI. I knew of sound bowls.
Okay.
And I had been to sound healings before, but I had never thought that I would want to take that on. But I did love how they made me feel. I
Mhm.
did. And so when I was there, I got reactivated. I'll never forget she played this handpan for me. And when she played this handpan, I literally was feeling all these tingling vibrations going down, and it was so familiar, but I had never played a handpan before, so I didn't know.
Mhm.
But the tones and the sounds that she played, it just did something to me. And
Mhm.
I forget when she was telling me, honestly, that trip to Ecuador was being indicted into the work.
Wow. Oh
So
my gosh, I got chills just thinking about. I'm like, oh, I need to go to Ecuador
yes,
for real.
I'm on my way back there soon. I feel called to do this again because it's been a couple of years now.
Okay,
But
I'll hop in your bag and go with you.
yes, ma'am. But it really changed my entire life. So when I got back to Los Angeles after that,
Mhm.
mm, the pandemic happened shortly after, not long after that, maybe within a year or so. But in the meantime, I was still doing a lot of different, preparation for the sound bowls. And then in 2019, I started I had my very first live sound healing session with about 30 people. A friend of mine said, "Hey, come to the house, bring your bowls." I had about 3 bowls. And
Uh-huh.
he goes, "Okay." Because I used to have these two little brass bowls that I would go around and say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a sound bath."
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I would knock people out with these two little bowls. They'd be in the chair, knocked out sleep with these two little brass bowls. But I had gotten three crystal ones for
Okay.
this Christmas. So at the end of 2019, December of 2019, a friend of mine asked me to come. "Yeah, I'm gonna invite a couple of friends, but I'm thinking it's gonna be like three or four." It was like 30 something people in this place.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh my God. Let me tell you, do you understand that I really wanted to run out of there when I saw 30 people? I'd never done this before.
oh, that's so
I didn't
awesome though. Like clearly she knew you could she knew you could do
even.
the damn thing. So good for
Yes,
you.
yes. So I did it. My friend Alan, he knew I could. He saw that in me, and I did it, and it was a beautiful night. And then I had
Mm,
one more, like about a week or two later, and I had a couple people at a place here in LA. Another woman that believed in me owns this place called Cultural Interiors, and she let me come into her studio and do it, and it was beautiful. And
ooh,
then, Lord knows, 2 weeks after that, we went into the pandemic,
that's
and
when
then that was
everything
it.
changed. Ooh, we
Yeah.
can't
So when
believe
the
that's
pandemic
almost 4 years now since the pandemic. So what did you do during the pandemic?
Well,
Because
that's
obviously you
so
couldn't be in
I
person.
couldn't be
Like,
in
what
person
did you
anymore.
do?
So I started buying more sound bowls off of Amazon.
Okay.
Yay, Amazon.
Hello.
And I sat in my room and I literally start playing them just for me because we were freaking out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so I played them in the house. And then um, Dr. Shamel Bell, oh my God, I love her so much. You all can thank her really, because if it weren't for her, I would have never I would never be in this level of where I'm doing sound bowls now.
Okay.
She is an amazing professor, and she at the time was a professor with Harvard and Dartmouth University in college. And so she says, "Hey, I had this incredible dream about bringing the whole world together." And she's Dr. Shamel Bell. She's one of the original founders of Black Lives Matter. But
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, she's done a lot of work here and all over the place with her teachings, and she's phenomenal. But she brought a bunch of us together, a bunch of different PhDs, and a bunch of people that, have these amazing gifts, spiritual gifts. And so she says, I want to organize a 28-day meditation. And what we're going to do is we're going to get together. This is all on the internet. And we're going to every day, every single day, one of us is going to get out here and we're going to just give our gifts to the world to help everyone through this pandemic. And that's what we did for 28 days. All these different healers and doctors got on here, and they just, they had these amazing talks and lectures and sharing their gifts and meditations and different modalities of healing.
Mhm.
That's what we did. And we all have stayed connected since that point. So since then,
Built a
I
community. I love that.
Oh, we got community. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all over the place. We're all across the United States and even outside
Okay.
the country. But we all have stayed together since then. We all still work together. A lot of us.
Mhm.
Uh, some of them are dancers. They do choreographed dance, and they're amazing. And
Mhm.
some of them, they just are professors, but they teach the most amazing concepts of, spirituality and just in all different arenas.
Right.
We all still stay connected. So since then, I got I started working with Dr. Shamel Bell on different colleges, USC, UCLA, Harvard, Dartmouth. I've flown different places with these sound bowls to be at the different colleges.
Mhm.
Dr. Dominique Hill, who is a professor at Colgate University, she got me a residency there for 3 years.
Wow.
Have the sound bowls virtually with the students that just different organizations. I got in with LA County, uh, taking these sound bowls to inner city Los Angeles and
Mhm.
all introducing these bowls to people that would otherwise never ever have the opportunity to know what sound bowl healing was. I started volunteering for LA City. Doing sound bowls for kids 6 to 13. I got into convalescent homes for the people that were in hospice care. I am with many different organizations still doing sound healing, a lot of studios, med spas. I was doing a lot of private uh,
Mhm.
healings as well. So it's just taken off, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still Just, I love this work. I don't think that I'll ever stop as long as I have breath in my lungs. I'll keep doing this work.
You could be 90 doing sound bowl
I
healing, true.
will.
That's
God willing.
so. Let me
God
ask you
willing.
because I remember the first time I at the top of the show I mentioned how I was floating. Can you share with everyone like what happens to you? I don't know, everyone's experience is
Mhm.
different, but what can people expect out of the experience? And what are the real true benefits of it? Because I really want to make sure that people really think about this, getting the sound bowls and
Yeah.
raising your vibration and getting in touch with yourself. So
Yes.
help everyone understand because it's been the most transformative thing for me, you
Yes.
know,
Well,
last
what I
year.
found out, those sound bowls are an activation, and I am
Hmm.
an activator.
Yeah.
And what happens with the sound bowls is, first of all, the sound bowls are the the surface things is that they relieve stress. They relieve tensions within the body.
Hmm.
They help you to sleep better if you have any insomnia. They tap you in so that you have deeper mental clarity and mental focus. So what happens is it raises your vibration and your frequency within your body. I
Hmm.
play 400, my bowls are 432 hertz. That's one of the highest healing frequencies in our universe.
Hmm.
There's 528 and there's others, but for sound to push out and wash over your body. It literally goes through your body and it starts to shift and remove energy that is stuck throughout the body that no longer serves the body, and it pushes it all the way through. It allows you to become more relaxed than anything. I mean, if you allow yourself to just be in this space and in this moment, it will help you to fall asleep. You can fall asleep in those sound healings, and the next thing you know, you can be transported into just different dreams of different dimensions of different. Um, uh, your ancestors have a way of talking to you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You open yourself up. It's a connector to the universe. The sound and the frequency of the sound bowls connects you to the frequency of the universe, which allows for you to receive divine wisdom,
Hmm.
divine knowledge, divine guidance. It allows you to just really release. It gives you a release because it taps you into your higher consciousness, and it allows you to be able to come out of that stuck place. Because we get in a place sometimes, it's kind of like, imagine if we're going up in an airplane at night.
Hmm.
Okay. You know how at night you go up in an airplane and you can see all these city lights that are down and
Yeah.
below?
Hmm.
When you're driving through a city at night, that's a whole different perspective of a city.
Right.
But when you're going up above,
Hmm.
the city becomes this magnificent space. It's
Hmm.
expansive. It's there is no boundaries. There is no cap. You can just see as far as one way to the next and then far as one way to the other. And you're allowed to have a different perspective. Sound healing gives you a different perspective over your whole entire life because I'm opening up your whole entire world around you.
Hmm.
So you can begin to look at it. Oh, that that's not really that important. Well, it was important, but now it's not so important because I see a different option over here or a different choice
Hmm.
or a way to do this. So you get different perspective over your whole life. It allows you to really begin to understand what's really important to you. What's really important to you? Is it really important to sit here with someone and argue and fuss and fight about something that what?
That part.
What
Yeah.
are we arguing about? What are we fussing? What does it need to be right or wrong? We're gonna fight to the death here because you're right and I want to be right, or you're wrong and I want to make you right, or vice versa. Like,
Right. And that does not serve you at all.
not at all. Oh, it
Yeah.
tears you down. It serves the negative entities that
Mm-hmm.
want to keep you from your gifts and from your purpose. We all have these incredible gifts that
Hmm.
we're born to or with. What sound healing does is it helps you and opens you up. It opens up your heart so that you can feel love and compassion. It opens up your mind so you can see clear.
Hmm.
It gives you the ability to see yourself in your wholeness
The
and
ability
complete.
to see yourself in your wholeness. Ooh, that's so deep, but so much, so needed. Like people need to understand that.
Well, we don't give ourselves the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, you throw some alcohol and some drugs into all that, and you're really going to be confused. You're really going to be blinded. You're really going to be misguided. You're misdirected. You're going to be just taken completely off your path.
Mhm.
It kind of reminds me like, for me, I remember, right before I got into this, my cousin took me to the Hollywood Wax Museum.
Mhm.
And I was so lost. I wish I could show this picture to you and you could flash it up there so you could see.
Mhm.
But I gravitated toward the Wax Museum figure of Dorothy. And I remember in my
Oh.
mind saying, man, I wish I could get on the yellow brick road. And I was that day I remember I had drank that night and I was
Mhm.
tired. I didn't want to go, but I felt lost and I kept drinking more because I was feeling lost.
Mhm.
That's another reason that whole thing happened back then.
Okay.
But on the yellow brick road, that movie was so deep. Like if you
It
really go
really
back and
was.
look at that movie now,
Mhm.
it's very, very symbolic of what the journey of our lives are here.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to go home.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to feel home in here, right?
Mhm.
But we're all on this journey. And on this journey of life, and on this journey, what happened to Dorothy? She gets in this house and it boom, goes around, and slams down in this strange foreign land, right?
Mhm.
She gets out, there's these munchkins, little nice friends, but then she goes on and she meets the Tin Man, the lion. She meets
And that's
uh,
crazy. Each of them had their
Scarecrow.
own struggles with
Right.
trying to find
They were
themselves.
all trying to find themselves.
Such a
And
deep movie.
right. And then what? She had all these bad witches and ugly monkeys
Mhm.
chasing her, right? But all she wanted to do is go
Get
home.
back home.
She fell out in the poppy fields.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Eyes
They
tight. Yeah.
intoxicated her. Like we've all
Yeah.
fallen out in the poppy fields. I fell
Mhm.
out. But then what do the sound bowls do? The sound bowls take you to Oz. The sound bowls take you to Oz, where you are now confronted with all these things in your mind that you thought was so scary.
Mhm.
The little man in Oz, everybody thought he was scary. This little old man, nothing to be afraid of. And at the very end of that journey in Oz, what did the Wiz tell her? The universe.
Mhm.
What was it? What was it that they told? Click your heels
Yeah.
and you can go home. And that's what the sound bowls are. You're clicking your heels and you're going home.
Yes.
Meditation is a healing portal. Meditation is a place for you to go and to be in the divine space.
Mm.
It's where you're able to find that sacred peace, that sacred guidance, that sacred divine knowledge that's going to successfully support you and sustain you on this earth plane. That is what the sound bowls do. They take you home.
That now see, now I'm gonna look at the Wizard of Oz in a whole nother way going forward.
That
That's so right though. You
that's
just
what
wanna
happens.
go home, you wanna have the peace, but you also gotta have the courage,
Gotta have the strength,
feeling to
courage,
go
you gotta
through it.
have
Yeah.
heart. Because I'm
The
gonna tell
heart.
you, this healing is not for the weak.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
you gotta have heart. And I tell you, every sound healing I go to, the one we were at this past weekend, Rock,
Mhm.
what a beautiful, beautiful way to
Man,
say goodbye to 2023. It was the most beautiful sound healing that day.
it was.
Everyone was touched.
You can
Ev-
you can't not be touched. If someone's not touching the sound bowl, I'm like,
you
I don't know. Because it's
can't
on a
deny it.
whole nother level. It's a whole
It's a
nother
whole nother level.
and you
Now,
know
some people don't resonate with this now. Now, I'll tell you why they
yeah.
don't.
And
Some
why
people,
is that? Why do you think that is?
because you're not ready.
Okay.
People that show up at nobody just shows up in front of me at a sound bath.
Yeah.
People come there because there is something
Intentional.
pulling
Yes.
them to go there. There is something that
Mhm.
lit up for them that says you need this, and you are guided to a sound healing. Just like people don't end up at ayahuasca journeys. You're
Mhm.
called there. You're called to my sound healings. You're called there. You're not going to just go there if you're not ready to do the work, because it's work. It's not
Mhm.
about coming to the sound bath and, oh, I'm going to feel fluffy and feel good. Yes, you will feel that way when you come out. The majority of the time, you're going to feel that way. You're going to feel lifted. You're going to feel renewed. You're going to feel recalibrated.
Mhm.
Feel relaxed. You're going to feel all of these beautiful things. because you're ready. But that's just going home and being hugged by the universe. It's being hugged by God. It's letting you know, I got you, my child.
Yes. I know that one sister said that she typically doesn't even leave her house. And she found you on, I think it was what, Instagram? Y'all connected and she was like, "Tell me more." And
Right.
you told her and she showed up.
Showed up
And
because her soul called her there.
yes.
Her soul called her there.
Yeah.
And that's what called me. I got,
Mhm.
and those beautiful officers that arrested me that night,
Mhm.
those beautiful officers brought me home because I was being called, because I had a work that was great. I had no idea that I would be doing this work.
Yeah.
Had you told me this when we were working, when I was working, when we met,
Mhm. They were like, "What you
I
talking
wouldn't have
about
believed
here?"
you.
Yes.
I would have never believed
Same
anything.
for me. Like
I
someone that
never
told me
thought.
yes. Yes. Same for me. If someone told me I'd be doing a podcast, I'd be like, "Girl, bye."
Right.
But it's like I just felt like I needed to because I was on that journey of trying to find out who I am and get to a sense of purpose. And one of the big things that I've realized is I wasn't living a life that was for me, that wasn't true to me. And I needed to establish some boundaries and draw some lines in the sand. And I needed to figure out what that was. And I'm telling you, going to that your sound bowl that first time,
Mm,
the
thank you.
clarity was there. It was so there. So I'm really hoping that people when they're ready, and they're ready to be intentional about
Yeah.
their lives and making a change. And the reality, we weren't designed to live stressed out
No.
and that's why
No.
we got diseases and anxiety and all this other nonsense. It's because we are not aligned and we're not being true to who we are and what our purpose is and why we are here.
And that's what the sound bowls do. They bring you
Mhm.
back into alignment.
Yes.
And you've been called, Rhonda.
And I'm answering
You
that
have a
call.
platform and you've been called. And you can't go back.
I
No,
can't.
there's a thing in the Bible that says, when you I forget every way that it goes, but it says we don't do those childish things anymore.
Yeah.
When you grow up or when you become spiritually inclined and enlightened, you
Mhm.
don't do childish things anymore. Like I, and one of the things about being on the spiritual journey, and you will experience it if you haven't already, is that there's so many people that will fall away
Oh,
and
yeah.
you'll
I've
go into
I've
an
been
isolation period. Yeah.
I've been purged. The purge has been real.
The
Like,
purge is real.
I'm like, if I don't feel like you are adding value to my
Right.
life, or if I can't add value to your life, if you're gonna be a drain, I
Mhm.
don't do energy vampires anymore.
No, no, no.
Absolutely not.
And there's people, places, and things that you will no longer resonate with,
Yep.
and it's okay.
Yep. I'm so
It's
okay with
okay.
it. I just be like,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, even last night, like, you going out? No, I'm staying. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. Give me a vegan pizza, and
See?
that's I'm
And
good
you'll
now.
find
Back in the day, I'd have been up in the club like, hey, nah,
Me too.
it's not my jam.
No, it's not my jam. Not my jam anymore.
This has
No,
been
this was a real
so
party. Last night
great.
I was doing a sound healing on New Year's Eve last night.
Yes.
And I'm so happy about it. And you know what's beautiful? What's so beautiful is that, this is the first time in my life too that I have never not been in a relationship. It's it's been years, mind you. I
Hmm.
haven't had a serious relationship since
Yeah.
2005.
Hmm.
But I feel like I am so complete and so happy, and the healing that I
Yeah.
am, that when that day comes, should God send that to me, this will be the first real relationship that I've ever had to be sober and to be uh,
Mm. Look at
and healing and to just, and I wouldn't even want to have been. I should have never been in those relationships ever.
no.
But you don't know until you know, right? But I
Exactly.
wasn't healed. I mean, and they weren't healed. So
Right.
how in the world can two
Two broke
unhealed people
people.
come together
Yes.
and have
No.
a healed relationship? That is ludicrous.
So now, because I've been thinking about that too. Because I mean, when we first met, we were like, well, we can meet this dude, like this dude.
Right.
I don't even think about like.
That's not even a
In the
thought.
back of my mind, yes, I will love to fall. I want to fall in love, right? But I
Yeah.
also feel like I got to get myself right before I
Yes.
can really truly do that and be aware because when we just out there we miss those red flags or
Well, we
either that
shouldn't.
or
We
we
just
ignore them
ignore them is what
and
we
we ignore
do.
them. We miss and we ignore, right? So now I'm on green flag only, or yes,
Yeah.
the green only. Like, stop. I'm
It
out.
is out there. It is out there. And the thing is when you resonate at different frequencies, you really
Mhm.
only attract and
Yes.
because otherwise it's like you're like two ships in a night. The
Yeah.
frequencies don't link up. But
Exactly.
yeah, I'm with you. I definitely see myself, being, in love one day, with someone that's just, of like mind and
Yes.
all that, but I can wait. I'm good.
Me too. Me too.
Cool. I really love me right now.
I do too.
I really do. I'm really
I love
for the
you
first
too.
time I love me. I love you too, Rhonda. And I'm looking forward to the beautiful things that you and I have aligned this year.
Oh my gosh. So
So
the retreats, like we're working on this healing retreat.
yes.
We have decided that we, in our own way, we want to, first of all, walk in our purpose and our truth
Yeah.
and be true to who we are and help heal the world, you
Yes.
know, one
I
person at a
thank you,
time.
my sister. Thank you, God, for sending Rhonda to me and me to Rhonda because now I know what our union was about
Yes.
when we met in Palos Verdes.
I was telling Mo, my sister, after we left the sound bowl, your sound bowl on Saturday, I was like, I'm so mad at myself that we didn't do this before. And then she was like, it wasn't your time. I was like, thanks for smacking me back to reality.
But hey, it wasn't mine either. I wasn't out here
Yes.
doing sound bowls back then. You know,
Yes.
neither
But
was
this
I
is
until
great.
we woke up. And so the healing that we're going to do, everyone, is going to be something that's going to be not only uh, transformational, but it's going to be magnificent. It's going to be a place where people can count on coming to do some real deep spiritual healing and some real work to help tap you in to
Yes.
your purpose, to help you be in alignment to where you and God and the universe need you to be. We're
Yeah.
here to help cultivate and give you information and share our experiences and in hopes that you too can get out here and help heal this world. It takes
Yeah.
it takes
Absolutely.
a village. It's so many people in this world that need healing. So we're doing our part to help.
Yeah. We're going to help provide those tools and folks are gonna walk away healed and ready to take on the world, and I just cannot wait to do this with you. So y'all stay tuned. It's gonna be up on the website. I'll post it. But Devin, tell everyone how they can find you. Instagram, any social website. Please share so folks can come check
Yes.
you out.
Yes. My website is Sacred Sounds by Devon. My Instagram is at Sacred Sounds by Devon. You can find me on TikTok at Sacred Sounds by Devon and YouTube at Sacred Sounds by Devon.
I love it. Get in touch,
So
y'all.
thank
Devin
you.
is an
Yeah, please
amazing.
come to some of my events. I'll be having events starting again this month, January 2024. I am excited to meet you all and just grateful for us all to be able to commune and heal together. So I hope to see you all. Rhonda, I love you. I cannot wait for our our huge healing event coming up this April
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
And we'll
It's
be
gonna be
putting out more
amazing.
information and
Mhm.
information on how you can be involved and become a part of that event as well.
Yes, and as always, it is so wonderful to see your beautiful face, and
Oh, you
I so
too. Of
appreciate
course,
you
sister.
and having you in my life. Like, you have totally changed me, so
Oh,
I
Rhonda,
feel
thank you.
grateful.
You vice versa. And thank you for everything, all of your help. Thank you for all that you do for me. And thank you for joining me in this vision
Mhm.
and collaborating with me so that we can do this incredible work together. I'm excited. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Alright, well, thank you so much, and, y'all check her out. Get healed. Let's do it.
Let's all of us get healed. Let's keep on healing, you
Alright,
know?
cool.
All
Thank
right. Thank
you.
you so much.
Alright,
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Now, wasn't that powerful? I mean, Devon beautifully unfolded the transformative benefits of sound healing. It offers a pathway to, discover that inner peace and clarity and alignment within yourself. Here's some key takeaways. Sound bowls can relieve stress, promote relaxation, and provide mental clarity. Sound healing raises vibrations and connects individuals to their higher consciousness. The journey of healing requires courage and self-reflection and a willingness to let go of past traumas. Sound healing can help individuals find their purpose and align with their true selves. And finally, the power of sound healing lies in the ability to create a sacred space for healing and transformation. All right, up next, Aria talks about going back to school after her long holiday break.
Hey y'all, it's me, Aria, your face. And tomorrow's my first day. The day when it's my first day when I come back from vacations, and I really love it. You know what? I get to play after school, and guess what? I don't even have to take a nap. And I can just leave. I leave at 12 o'clock, I think. Actually, I think 2 or 12. I don't know. I'm not the one that knows very much, but I don't care still. Bye, y'all.
I love the fact that she loves school, and I hope she holds on to that feeling throughout her academic life. And that's a wrap for today's empowering episode. Embracing sound healing isn't just a practice, it's a journey towards self-discovery and alignment with our true calling. So I really urge everyone to explore it. Raising your vibration sparks profound healing. So go ahead, take that leap of faith and have that curiosity, and I promise you, it will transform you. Stay tuned for more stories that celebrate growth, change, and unapologetically put you first. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends. Together, let's build a tribe of self-care warriors who own their lives and live it to the fullest. Remember, let self-care be your ride or die companion on this wild journey we call life. Slay those challenges, conquer those obstacles, and as always, keep your self-care purse within arm's reach. Until next time, my fabulous friends, remember to put yourself first and to hold my purse. Peace.